Hi guys, welcome to episode 28 of Get Your Buzz On. I have special guests over here.
Jonathan Limon with Summit Realty.
Yay! And I have a bottle of Shandon. We do the champagne and sometimes it explodes, so look. Ooh!
Okay.
We're gonna get the party started. So how have you been, Mr. Jonathan?
I've been good. I've been busy. What about you, Victoria?
Busy as usual,
Yeah?
all the time.
That's good.
Life never stops, man. It's always crazy.
Oh, I know. Especially right now.
So, cheers.
Cheers. Thank you for having me.
I'm glad you were on the show. So tell everyone what you do and what you've been up to.
Well, of course, I'm a real estate agent. I've been licensed for 3 years. I've been 2 years with Summit Realty. Actually, July was my official third year being licensed as a real estate agent. It's going really good. Yeah.
Because you started off, I met you when you started at ERA.
Yeah.
That's when, it's only been, I feel like it's been a lot longer.
I see all these other realtors and they're like, yeah, this is my fifth, sixth year, and I'm like, this is my third.
Yeah, because I feel like you've done a lot, right?
I kind of. Well, I kind of. I would like to think so. Yeah, I started at ERA with Curly, with Jesus.
Yeah.
And then with Chris, and we had our little clique over there, and then kind of everyone just did their own thing. I eventually went with Jesse to Summit, and since then it's been good. They basically took me in, and I'm doing very well, and
Yeah.
a big part is to Summit Realty.
Well,
So-
what did you do before you started the real estate stuff?
I was selling mattresses with a buddy of mine, and it was good. It's
Yeah.
just I just didn't see it very fulfilling. But I was also bartending.
Oh,
So
okay.
I quit because it was so demanding, and then I went into bartending, and I did that for like a year.
Yeah.
But I hated that life.
Really?
I hated it. I was like, ugh, I cannot do this forever. I cannot see myself doing this
Yeah.
another 5 years. Because I would see some of my peers doing it, and I'm like, the money's great.
Yeah.
And I'm not shaming them for it because the money's great, but
Get
I was
some
like-
tax-free, get the cash.
yeah, exactly. But then you can never get the house,
That's
you know,
true.
because you're
Yeah.
not claiming anything. So I would, I was always like, no, I got to get out of this industry. I got to get into real estate. That's when Jesus told me, hey, you'd be really good at this. And then here we are 3 years later.
That's crazy. That's
Yeah.
crazy. So, and you guys have a group of you guys that you all hate. Like, how many of you guys I called them the Backstreet Boys.
Yeah.
But it's like Jesus, you, Chris, Jesse. Who else am I missing?
And then, well, Ricardo was here. There
Oh, I
Armando
love Ricardo.
too. Yeah, Ricardo's dope. Ricardo's
I
in
love
Dallas.
him. Yeah.
Everyone kind of like just split up though.
Yeah.
Like I'm not, me and Jesus aren't really the best of friends anymore.
No?
We're not friends anymore. And yeah, this is podcast exclusive. And yeah, so we're not friends. And then kind of when Chris left to go to the agency, it kind of left a sour taste in Jesus' mouth too. So it was like,
You're like,
and then
oops.
of course, Armando too. Like he stayed with the brokerage, and now does his own thing.
Yeah. Well, you guys are awesome. That's how I met them. So tell us, like, for anyone that's looking to get in the real estate, what was the biggest learning lessons that you've gone through in the last 3 years that you wish you would have known before you started?
Get yourself a really, really good mentor. Like, do not. So many realtors, they get lost in the sauce with like their money. They're like, oh no, they're gonna take a cut of my commission. I'm not gonna get the whole piece, and that's the biggest mistake you can do, because you end up losing out on all the experience that you need, and that's really what's gonna take you to that next level, where you can be independent, you can get your own clients. So get yourself a good mentor at first. I know I had one, and then it wasn't the best,
Yeah.
which led me to go to Summit.
Yeah.
And then there they had trainings and the tools that I needed to really get my own leads. So once I was able to do that, once I was able to do things on my own, it's been game over. And
Well,
then,
they do have a lot of training.
yeah.
They have a ton.
Yeah. And then they give you the leads too. They give you
Yeah.
a lot of leads. I always like to say those are just to start off.
Yeah.
Those are just to get your wings, to get your feet wet. And once you start working with those, then you start getting your own, and you start keeping a little bit more of your own money.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, get yourself a mentor. Yeah, because
So
people
who
just
has been some of your biggest mentors right now?
Preston for sure.
Yeah.
Preston Brown. I swear, like, you know, me and another realtor, Fernando. I don't know if you know Fernando.
Yeah.
Man, that guy's killing it. But he basically he takes care of us. He's like, hey, let's go to this training. Let's go to this conference. You know, I really want you guys to be there. And we really take it in stride.
Yeah.
And we just learn so much. He really just invests in us. So Preston's definitely one of them. Renee too, because Renee was when Renee was still with Summis, he's the one that basically they recruited me. Like, it was like the weirdest way that they recruited me. They of course
Do tell.
Summis has like a really bad rap, you know. They're not everybody's favorite brokerage, and so Jesse, you know, jumped ship.
Yeah.
And he was at Summis, and then what happened was he. Like one day, he's like, hey, I'm having some issues with my baby mama and, you know, like, can you talk to me? And of course, I'm always like, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I'm down. I'm a good friend. I'm going to help. Like, what do you need? So we go to a bar. We go to, they changed it. It's the one where you had your scavenger hunt.
Oh.
What is it called again?
Oh, it was.
It's Born and Raised.
Born and Raised. And then it was Fool's Gold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we go there. And we're just talking, and the whole time, like those weeks, he was telling me, he's like, hey, you don't want to join Summis? I know you're struggling where you're at. And I was like, no, bro, no, like I don't want to join them. Like, you know, I haven't heard good things about them. I don't want to join them.
Yeah.
Sure enough, like we're having a drink, and I see like Renee and Preston walk in the bar, and I swear to God, I was like, shit, like I gotta get out of here. And I was like, I gotta get out of here.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I gotta go to the bathroom. He's like, no, just sit down. I was like, no, bro, I'm gonna dip. Like, he's like, here, just, you know, I'll cash app you the money, but I gotta get out of here because they're gonna recruit me. It's just a recruit spiel. And sure enough, they sit down. Preston's charming ass is like, let me get, you know, around for everybody.
Yeah.
And then we were talking for like 3 hours after that, like just half drunk, like, you know. And then that led to me getting an interview, and then I eventually jumped ship.
That's crazy.
So yeah, they basically bamboozled me. I felt bamboozled. I was like, dang.
You got tricked. You got sold.
No, and I called them out on it too. In the middle of like their little spiel, I was like, did you guys set me up? Like, is this a setup? Like, was this planned?
Yeah.
Was this preordained? And they were like, no, like, this was just coincidence. And my dumbass was like, oh, like, you know, I'm big on like things happen for a reason. It was meant for you guys to come here. Little do I know they sabotaged me.
They did the whole setup and everything.
A few months later, they told me, they were like, oh, we set you up. I was
That's
like,
hilarious.
They were like, you're welcome. I was like,
what's the biggest, I mean, because like you said, Summits has a different, people think in other brokerages. What do they think about it? Like, what's the biggest misconception? Because I deal with every brokerage, and I tell everyone, you know, each one's so different that you have to do not what the split is or anything like that. You have to do with who's going to be your mentor, what you see your business, because you're your own business owner.
Absolutely. So yeah, you're an independent contractor. So I guess one of the things that people get from Summits is that, you know, maybe we are a little unprofessional. If you notice, we do pander to new agents, rookie agents.
Yeah.
So, like, if you notice, every brokerage has like
their niche.
Yeah. Like, some of them have the older agents, the ones that aren't so loud on social media, and then the more experienced ones, the ones that you're gonna get I've been in the business 20 years. Yeah, you're gonna get those. You have some that are like, we have a lot of builders. We have some that, you know, everyone has their niche.
Yeah.
But we get a lot of like, you have like the inexperienced ones or the rookie ones. You're very immature. And some of our marketing is like, what do you guys do again? Like, do you guys sell houses, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we just make it fun.
Yeah.
We just make it fun. Everyone there is pretty close knit. At the end of the day, though, like, you're doing your own thing, so I don't see a big deal about it. Because I'm
Yeah.
like, hey, like, when I'm at the office, yeah, I'm silly, but I'm rarely there.
Yeah.
You know? But I mean, also, you know, Preston too. You either love Preston or you hate Preston. There's no gray area. There's no in between. So that's another reason why you kind of have like that big divide.
Yeah.
And yeah, so.
Well, I think a lot of times people just misunderstand him, and that's just the way he is. Like, he's just always on, and people are just like, he's fake or anything like that, but he's just always like 24/7.
Yeah.
Like, and that's how he just works. There's
no off switch.
Yeah. And I think that people just, if you don't know him, they think like, oh, like he's just a sales guy. But no, it's constantly going on. Like, I had him on my podcast, and he was like, boom, 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 just saying a bunch of stuff. And he could have gone on and on longer too. So I do think that people do have a misconception, and they should get to know him. I get to know everyone.
Yeah.
Because it's fun.
Yeah, that hour and a half that you had with him wasn't enough. He was
No.
like, no, like let me.
No, and then I love it because you know, he drops the F-bombs. We like just talk like whatever we want.
He curses like, but that's just him. It's genuine.
Yeah, it's not. He's not putting on a front.
Yeah, he doesn't censor himself.
So yeah, that's what I like about that. I do like about him, and then also I think he has different information that he's wanting to share with everyone, and I just think that he's just got a different way of doing it than everyone else.
Yeah, agreed. But of course, it's not everyone's cup of tea. So
yeah,
you know, they take it the wrong way, or they take it with a grain of salt, and they're like, I don't know if this is, I don't know if this guy's good enough or cool or making sense. So yeah.
But you know, and I deal with all the brokers, so I just think that each one, I have a ton of respect for each one, because especially the ones that have been in the real estate game a long time, because they've seen it all. But everyone's so different. I like it.
Yeah.
That's what makes us all human.
Yeah. I mean, we were just talking about it. There's like your different niches, your different cliques, different personalities and egos. And then you have people that are like really young, early 20s. And then you have your people when like, you know, been experienced for over 20, 25 years.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it's the same with insurance. Like, they just, I just think that sometimes people need to relax and have fun and do whatever they're going to do. Like, that's what I tell everyone with my stuff. I'm like, everyone knows I do insurance. There's only so much auto and home stuff I can talk about.
Right.
Like, people want to get to know you, want to do business with people that they know and like, you know?
Right.
So I think that's the biggest difference with, like, Summits, is that you guys are a little catering to, like, the younger, the social media and all that stuff, too.
Yeah. That's really who we pander to. And then not only that, but it's an ever-changing world.
Yeah.
You know, like as the years go by, you know, they're really putting their money on what's going to be the next, you know,
biggest
move.
thing.
Yeah, exactly. So and then the people who aren't like following, or the people who aren't getting on board, they're going to be left behind. I'm seeing it happen.
Yeah.
I'm seeing these big mega agents slowly but surely like lose business, just little by little, but it starts eroding because these younger agents who are, you know, they're in with the trends, they're in with what's going on, they're marketing themselves out there, and they're taking more of their business. So I'm seeing it happen. It's going slow, but it's happening. So,
Well, first, because I think El Paso's not as tech as, like, let's say Dallas and all those areas.
Easy.
So I think we've been slower to that, but it will come. And when it does, if you don't have, like, your social media game, your website, your all that stuff, you're just die.
If it's like, like in Austin, like, you have to be on your P's and Q's. There's no, like, I can get away with just being that experienced, seasoned, 25, you know, plus year agent.
Yeah.
Like, no, that doesn't cut it anymore. You always have to innovate.
Yeah.
You always have to adapt and innovate. And El Paso, not just in real estate, but like really in everything else. We're one of the last ones in regards to like.
We're the last of the Mohicans
of everything,
on everything.
Yeah. Like we barely got the trend.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay. Like when it
that
comes
was like
to
10 years ago.
Yes. Well, that's cool. Like we're living in 2008. That's cool.
Yeah,
you know?
like
But yeah.
it's like when Topgolf finally came, it was like, okay, like
Like-
it's been with everyone else for so long, but and in a way it's good too because we don't feel the effects like everyone does right away when the
Yes.
economy or anything
When something
like
hits,
Yeah.
we're like that bastion of like we're safe. We're
Yeah.
good. Like we don't have to worry about like, oh crap, like
We're
no
not in
one's-
New York right now.
Yeah, we don't have like factory jobs where they're like, oh crap, like hundreds of people just got laid off.
Yeah.
Or, yeah, we don't feel the hit, and like that's what I love about El Paso too. El Paso, first and foremost, you have like warm weather here.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have any crazy weather, any inclement weather. Like we had an earthquake, but you know,
I was like-
I was asleep during that.
I didn't even feel it. I'm
I
like,
didn't. I was like, yeah. So I was asleep the whole time, and then so pretty good weather. Crime's not bad.
No.
You got like cheap Mexico right here.
yes, crime's not bad
So-
at all.
Yeah. So like you have El Paso is just I think that's why also so many people are flooding over here. I had a client, she's a lead from Miami. She's like, oh, I can't afford to live here anymore. She's like, I'm just gonna buy my house cash in El Paso. And I'm just like
Okay.
and I keep seeing that.
Yeah.
Californians, people from Florida, but I also get made fun of like by other realtors from like on Instagram.
Yeah.
Like that like work in like the California area. That
Yeah.
work in the Denver area. And they're like, oh my God, like only 200,000, only 300,000, like, you know, that gets you nothing here. And I'm like, I get it. Like,
Yeah,
I
it's
get
just
it.
different.
Yeah.
Well, and I think too, again, you have to look at everything in perspective. If you're in a bigger city, it's a lot harder to
Establish yourself.
Yeah. I mean, like let's say you go to LA. I mean,
There's like a million realtors there.
So
You know,
it's like,
you got
I'm
selling Sunset.
yeah,
you know what I mean?
exactly. You got all kinds of stuff. So it's like, okay, you do have a lot higher, but I mean, the time it takes to build up that reputation, it's like, okay, I
To
get
build
it.
that clientele.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, I don't know if the juice is worth the squeeze to move out there. You know what I mean? No, it's just too many people out there. There's too much competition. Even to go to like other markets that aren't so big like Los Angeles, like
Yeah. Even
you know,
Dallas has
Dallas.
a lot.
Austin.
Yeah.
Like I was even like thinking about going to Seattle,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just like, oh, it's tough. Like you have a lot of realtors in that area. Victor Alonso, I was talking to him the other day. He was like, because he has some listings out in San Antonio.
Mm-hmm.
He was just like, oh, it's different, bro. Like everything has to be on point.
Yeah.
I
'cause you're dealing with
cannot
people
have
in
an
different
Achilles
buyer.
heel. Yeah. And I'm just like, damn.
Yeah.
Kind of lucky a little bit over here. We're spoiled here.
Yeah, we are. I think, we are spoiled because people don't realize they're like, oh, they might talk shit about El Paso and that we don't have everything. But, the cost of living is not bad. The safety, the schools, like you have public schools that are just as good as private schools
Yeah.
anywhere else. And I think that to raise a family and everything, it's a perfect
Perfect. Yeah, it is. And yeah, I love El Paso. And I know it's getting there.
Yeah.
I know it's all about changing the culture. Like
Yeah.
it definitely is changing for the better. We're just like the last and everything.
We are. And it'll happen.
Yeah.
And it just takes a little while to do all that stuff. So,
Yeah.
and then COVID didn't help with everything going on.
Oh my God. Yeah, that took us a step back, but.
How has COVID been for you? Like with when it first broke out and everything?
So when it first broke out, I literally told some of my sellers, do not sell your home. I was like, do not sell your home. And this was like in March,
Yeah.
like mid-March. I was like, do not sell your home. Let a couple of weeks pass.
To see what's
and
going on.
Exactly, to see if we're going to be good or not. And this is right before the market turned into this crazy seller's market that it is now.
It's like, right now
Ridiculous.
it's like, I mean, I've been hearing agents though that they're like, I had never worked so hard and not gotten a paycheck.
Anything, yeah.
Yeah. They're like, we just keep writing contracts and nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Like I had a client and we were over asking by like $5,000.
Yeah.
And like the agent was like, yours was like the lowest one. I was like,
What the
lowest one?
Yeah.
I was like, Drake? Like, Drake? I was like, what? Like, but yeah, they told me that. And then I was like, geez, okay, we're going to have to keep looking. We're
Yeah.
going to have to keep looking. Now, as a listing agent, because I do a lot of, I handle a lot of sellers.
Yeah.
I love sellers. Sellers are really my bread and butter. It's like, it's the best. It
I
really
love your
is.
smile. You're like,
You're like, yeah, you're just relaxing. I'm like, yeah, go ahead and show it. Or, let me just text my client real quick. Like, are they good? And then it's like the easiest thing in the world. But as a buyer's agent, yeah, it's hard out here.
It's hard.
It's really hard.
So when your sellers were looking, when did you finally tell them, hey, you can sell, or right now's the time to sell?
Like probably like a month later.
For
Like after 3 weeks, and also in the middle of the pandemic, all the contracts that I currently had that were about to close, I was shitting bricks. I was like, crap. Like, my stuff is gonna cancel. What am I gonna do? Like, crap. Like, but sure enough, it didn't. They all pulled through. They all closed. And then a few weeks later, I tell my sellers, I'm like, hey, you're good.
Yeah.
And you can sell. Not only that, but I also told sellers that I had in the pipeline from months ago, hey, I know we could sell your home for 210, and I know I said that last time, but I can probably sell for 230.
Yeah.
And it's so ridiculous, like how appreciation, like I'm seeing appreciation before my eyes.
Yeah.
I never ever, I was always like, oh yeah, real estate appreciates, cool, like, but I never really understood it, until I saw it for myself. I helped the seller. I've helped like a few sellers already. They bought their house for 2 years.
Yeah.
In 2 years, you don't have that much equity in the house.
Yeah.
So they bought it in 2018. One of my sellers, they bought it in 2018 for 190. Mm-hmm. They sold their house. I just closed it like a month ago for 217. And I was like, Jesus Christ, $27,000
in 2 years.
In 2 years.
That's insane.
In 2 years. And this is the kind of stuff that you see like in Dallas,
Yeah.
like in Austin, over like a period of years where it's like, dang, it appreciated $27,000.
Yeah.
Where they went in VA, which is negative equity, if you kind of think about it. And now it's like, dang, you guys are making, some good money.
Yeah.
Selling the house in 2 years.
That's crazy.
In 2 years, it's like if you rent a house and then or rent something in 2 years, like here's a check for like $10,000, $15,000.
Why do you think it's been such a seller's market?
Just there's no inventory, and this is what it is.
Spill.
Interest rates are so low, and like people get so caught up in interest rates. Mm-hmm. That's their god. That's what I mean. They're like, oh no, interest rates are so low, I gotta buy.
Yeah.
And in my head, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm like, interest rates are low, but the prices are high.
Yeah.
Like either way, you're
gonna
paying
pay.
something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. In fact, just being 100% honest with you, but people are, I hate to say it, but they're not the smartest people. They're not, well, it's not that they're not smart, it's just that they don't know. Like
Yeah.
I know that's because I see it, but I would much rather buy a house in a buyer's market with a higher interest rate, with 1% over or 1.5, like how it was, like where it was 4.5 or 3.5 or like in the low fours.
Yeah, because it's still not bad.
It's not bad. You're telling me that you would rather buy a house that's like $20,000-$30,000 more, but hey, your interest rate is like 1.5% less.
Yeah. And there's a thing called refinancing.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yes. And but it's just so ridiculous. I'm just like, exactly. I'm like, you could refinance later, right?
Yeah,
it's not the end of the world. And then relatively, even compared to like the 80s and 90s, your interest rates are still low.
Yeah.
I'm like I've seen parents that are like, oh, I had an 8%, a 10%
That was my parents.
back in the day.
Yeah, and they had to
And
do
they
the
wouldn't bat an
20%
eye.
down. Yeah.
They would not bat an eye.
You had to do the 20% down, it was like 10 or 8% interest rate, and and it was really strict on who was qualified.
Super, but granted,
Yeah.
homes were a lot less.
That's true.
Back in the day. But that's what people don't understand. They're like, oh no, interest rates are in the low 3s, high 2s. I gotta buy the home. And it's like, dude, you're buying the home.
But yeah.
Like, if
Just
you would have
wait.
bought this home 2 years ago, you could have bought it $30,000 less.
Yeah.
Same thing happened with another client. Like, I've been dealing with that. In fact, I'm gonna market it. I already have like a little, like I'm gonna go on Facebook and market it just to show like people, because so many realtors right now are like, right now is a good time to sell a home. Like, sell your home right now. And it is.
But there's no rentals.
There's no inventory, but they're pandering to sellers so that maybe a lead will contact them on social media
Yeah.
and say, hey, like, sell my house. But I'm going to market it to where I'm like, hey, like, it's not just a good time to sell your home. Like, let me show you how much your home has appreciated, like what you can get away with.
Yeah.
Because I kid you not, I have this home that I'm taking pictures of today.
Yeah.
And we were talking like 6 months ago, and 210, 215 was maybe what I can get them. Easily right now, 230.
Yeah.
I'm like, geez, in 6 months, like, just that $15,000 swing.
That's crazy.
That's ridiculous. And I'm just like, I even kind of want to sell my house, but I'm like,
You're like, where would I live after?
am I gonna have to live in an apartment again?
Well, that's the thing. Like, I've been seeing the people that have been selling, they can't find like the 6 months lease or the month to month
There's
or
no such
anything.
thing, yeah. They
Well-
Airbnb.
Yeah.
They Airbnb for like 6 months, and since it's, or like I don't know what they do.
Well, like Rick Moreno, he does the Airbnb, and he was saying that his stuff's been so busy right now too.
That it's occupied.
Yeah.
Excuse me. But
Yeah, it's just crazy how the market's just completely done that flip. And you know, because me and my husband, we've been saying we are going to buy a house forever, but right now, you look at the inventory and there's nothing out there.
if you want to resell, there's not that much inventory. You kind of have to settle for new.
Yeah.
It's not bad. It's just
It has its pros and its cons.
yeah, it has its
each
pros and
one's.
cons. But you have to go with new.
Yeah.
Because I've even like looked for homes to invest in and to flip, and like I haven't got a hold of them. I know that there's some investors out there that are getting their hands on homes to remodel, to flip, to hold, to
Yeah.
Airbnb, and I haven't gotten. Me and my partner are like, oh my god, we're like itching for one.
Yeah.
Like, y'all got any more of them? Like, wholesale?
You're like, come on, give me a deal.
Like, just get me one, Like, I need to get more busy. But
Yeah. Well, and like I said, it's crazy to me how much the jump has been. How long do you think this is going to be going for?
Until the economy gets better. I would say well into next year.
Yeah.
Because even after I know we were talking about it before, I'm pretty sure after the election, things are going to coincidentally get back, get back to normal. So I think that as soon as, if it's Trump, then just give it a few months.
Yeah.
If it's Biden, where there's a new seat in power, it might take a little bit longer because things have to now change and adjust, and he has to acclimate. But I would still say just a few months until we go back to normal, until everyone still thinks that we're in the seller's market, phase. Everyone puts their house on the market. Now there's too much competition.
Yeah.
There's so many buyers out. So as soon as interest rates hike back up,
Yeah.
that's when it's going to turn back into a buyer's market.
Well, and I think I'm happy about it because my property value goes
Appreciated,
up. I'm not happy about the taxes, but I am happy about that side. But like you said, hopefully in the next couple months, then it'll be there'll be a lot more inventory out there to buy.
Right. Have you tried contesting your taxes? Because I know like the city goes crazy with that. Like
I haven't even. You know what?
No?
To be honest, I haven't done that.
You haven't tried to contest your taxes?
Mm-mm.
Just look up your taxes, what your property is, and then see like, okay, what were you guys charging me in 2019? What were you guys charging me in 2018? And if you're seeing like a huge spike, then just have one of us schmucks like purposely do like a market analysis and then just shoot the numbers down.
Yeah.
And then just take it to like the Central Appraisal District, and then your taxes go down.
I've
done that so many times to my clients.
Yeah.
Even I had a client, she's great, and her neighbor was like, hey, my realtor, is like, he never answers me.
Yeah.
Can your realtor help me out and help me contest my taxes? And sure enough, like, I was like, yeah, I'll do it just because you're my client.
Yeah.
And I did it, and sure enough, they lowered their taxes by like 15,000, 20,000.
Oh, damn.
Like, and that's money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And sure enough, like, they're so happy. The rapport is definitely more like solidified.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Huh. I got.
So just do that. I'll even do it for you. I'll do it for you right
You're
now.
like, I'll do it. We'll check it out. So for anyone that's like looking to get in the industry, what advice do you have, like, besides finding a good mentor and doing all that stuff, what's the biggest misconception that a lot of people have to get in the industry?
Really, they get lost in like the exam,
Yeah.
in like the state and national exam. There's even a joke that says like, this is like what you need to like get a real estate license, and it's like someone taking a pulse. Like it's not. It's like, but people get so caught up. Like, I need to know about,
Coding,
financing,
yeah.
coding, even though there's just nothing that I'm ever going to deal with ever again. And if
Yeah.
I do, then I'm going to have to speak with a mentor or
To deal
somebody
with
who's
that.
well versed in that field. So I say, don't get lost in like the exam. Don't get lost in like the licensing. Just get your license, learn enough about it so that you guys get your license, but then get your mentor. And big thing too, like save about 6 months worth of like finances,
Yeah.
because you should see it. Like I'm on Instagram, and I kid you not, so many times, how'd you get your real estate license? How long did it take you to get your real estate license? What do you need?
Yeah.
Like, how do I, and I, it's so much that I developed like this auto reply.
So
You know how you can do it on Instagram? I do this auto reply, and I literally tell them step-by-step instructions.
Yeah.
You can take it online, or you can go to the classes in person. I don't know if they're still doing that because of COVID, but as soon as you're done, let me know so I can schedule an interview with my broker.
Yeah.
And I never hear from them again. Because I'm just like, okay, well, okay. They see like other realtors, and they're like, oh, this is easy. I
Yeah.
can do it. But it's a hard job.
It is. And I think that
It's a
people
really hard job.
don't realize the failure rate too with real estate.
Oh, it's super high. If you don't
Yeah.
have your mentor, if you don't have a good savings, if you're not good with your finances, then you're setting yourself up for failure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think that's one of the reasons why so many people don't contact me afterwards.
Yeah.
Because they're like, 6 months worth of finances. Like,
But you have to give them the truth. You have to be like,
I
"Dude."
am. Because if I don't, like I had this other client, he's an insurance agent.
Yeah.
But he works at Fred Loya.
Okay.
But he works in New Mexico. And he's like, man, like I'm making him out, this much every year.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about making the switch. And I was like, dude, you're too set over there.
Yeah.
I was like, you have a whole family too. You have to have at least 6 months
Yeah.
worth of finances saved up. And that doesn't even guarantee that you're going to be good at this industry. Because I've seen people who are like college educated, like you would think that they're good. And I'm like, they're not doing that well.
Yeah.
And then I see a dude that can't even spell cat if you spot him 2 letters, and he's doing phenomenal.
Yeah.
And it's just, there's so many traits that go into this industry, but I don't know. It's a hard industry. You got to have at least 6 months worth of finances.
Yeah.
If you do not have that, you're setting yourself up for failure. I remember when I first
Because
got
then you're
started,
desperate.
you're like, oh, like, please buy this house.
Yeah.
And nobody wants to buy from that guy. And I remember when I first joined, I was so desperate. Like I was tight on money, and I was still bartending when I was first in real estate, and I got fired. Like the owner, he didn't even give me a good reason. He's like, no, I just don't want you to work at the bar anymore. But it's because I was giving too much time to real estate.
Oh.
So he just let me go, and I was very stressed out. Luckily, I had my first closing ever, and I was fortunate enough to have a closing relatively soon in real estate. Because
Yeah.
if you talk to most agents, how long did it take for you to get a closing?
Yeah.
And they're like, 6 months, 5 months. It takes them a few months. To me, it took me like 2 months. 1 month to meet a person, and then another month to get like the whole 30-day escrow.
Yeah.
So I was fortunate enough, and yeah. And then of course I had somebody helping me,
Do
guide me
that
through
whole
the process.
So the thing is too, the other thing that I see, who was it? Cooper. He had posted like a TikTok video of like the broke agent, and it was like all these points, and it was hilarious because it's true. It's like they all, I think a lot of times they're not understanding of, yeah, you do get paid, like let's say you get a $10,000 commission. Well, how much of it goes to Uncle Sam?
Yeah, exactly. How much goes to Uncle Sam? how much goes to Johnny Walker, how much goes to, you know, like
Well,
I saw
open
that.
houses, like
Yeah, all that stuff, marketing. Like, every single time I go to a listing presentation, they're like, well, that's how much you're going to make. I was like, bro, I'm not making that much. I was like, I still got to pay for your photos. I still got to, you know, pay for your marketing, you know, strategic plan.
your broker
I still got to
takes.
pay my broker.
Yeah.
You know, I still got to pay the IRS. I still got to pay Johnny Walker. Like, I
Yeah.
still got to do all that.
And I'm your therapist too on the
Yeah,
side.
exactly. I'm over here on the phone an hour. I'm doing this for free. I was like, you're supposed to get charged like at least $100 an hour, and I'm doing this for free. So
And there's no guarantee that it'll close.
yeah, exactly. Like, I'm doing this, I'm fronting you the money,
Yeah,
and then I'm expecting it to close. So yeah,
for sure.
it's a big risk.
Yeah. So I think that's good advice for that. What's something that a lot of people don't know about you?
I don't know. I'm kind of an open book.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Kind of.
I like to just.
Well, I think it's easier when you are, because I'm the same way, because no one can say, oh. Like,
No one can be like, throw something at you, and then you're like, how did you know? You know? Like, yeah, so I don't
I'm
know.
never surprised, because I'm like, I'll be the first one to tell anyone what goes on or anything
Yeah.
like that.
No, I mean, I'm pretty open. Right now, I have a girlfriend. Took her off like the social media, and everyone's like, "Did you guys break up? Did you guys break up?" And
Yeah.
we did, but then we got back together. But you know, like, you can't reverse the delete.
And she's hot, by the way.
Oh, yeah, she's all right. Like, don't let her hear this, because her head will just blow up.
Oh my gosh. I'm like, how the hell did Jonathan land this girl? I'm like, what the hell?
Okay, I heard you. Okay. we gonna do that today? Okay.
I'm like, I love you and all, but just, you know.
No, we're great right now. The whole reason why we're doing it today and we didn't do it yesterday
Yeah.
was she was like sick. She was feeling super sick. I went over to her apartment, and then I went to go take care of her.
Yeah.
And then, you know, she pissed me off. I was like, hey, you've been up for an hour on your phone. Like, you knew I had to wake up and I had to do a podcast at 11. Like,
Yeah.
what the hell's your problem? So I wouldn't sleep with you. I was like, ugh. And then, I kid you not, I was like, how does it look if I'm calling Victoria 10 minutes before, hey, I can't go. I'm sorry, you have like the whole setup already. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, I can't go. Like, it looks just so terrible. And she's like, well, you know, and then she got pissed at me the whole day yesterday because I was super busy. I'm your second option. I'm like, dude, like, it's literally like just, I'm super slammed today.
Yeah.
But other than that, I guess you could say we're good.
Well, the thing is, it's all relationships,
Yeah,
though. That's
it
how
is.
it goes.
You like, also too, I know you're telling me about like what advice, you know.
Because I've always told you, I'm like, this is what you should do. This is what.
Yeah, these are the expectations. This is what you should anticipate.
Yeah. Because
And-
I'm very truthful.
Yeah, no, you are. And you have to also have a partner that realizes that you're going to be super busy.
Yeah.
So if you go into like the real estate industry, single, great. You don't have anyone to.
You don't have to worry about it.
You don't have to worry about it. You're good.
Yeah.
You know, you're doing you. But if you have somebody, they have to understand that you're going to be very, very busy. You have a demanding schedule, and rarely do partners understand that. It's typically somebody in the industry that's like, oh no, I'm just as busy. I know what you're going through.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whether it's a loan officer, another real estate agent, an insurance agent. So yeah, it's you have to have someone that has a lot of patience, a lot of understanding too. So yeah.
Well, and I think that is true. I feel like when Justin and I got together, he was a loan officer and I was in insurance, and we were doing the same thing.
Right.
So we know the same people. So it makes it a lot easier too. So he's not like, who's Jonathan fucking calling you? Or like, you know what I mean? It's like, it makes it that much easier because I'm not like, oh,
Like,
well,
who's
who's
this
this
fucking
girl?
realtor?
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like when you know most of the people, they're over like 60. And,
Yeah.
you know, but I think when you have a partner, and I hear it all the time with people, if you have a partner that doesn't understand the industry or doesn't go to events and doesn't know, these are the people that I deal with.
Yeah.
It's extremely difficult because you're on your phone all the time too.
Yeah. And they just, I mean, of course, it's normal for your significant other to get jealous. So like,
Yeah.
why aren't you giving me that attention?
Yeah.
But it's like, bro, I'm trying to pay the bills. You know what I mean? I'm paying the bills.
You're like,
I'm
come
paying
on
us
now.
to
Come
go to
on now.
Cancun. You
Yeah.
gotta chill out. You know what I mean?
You like that vacation. You
I was
like
like,
that nice
I want that
purse.
same energy when I take you to Cancun, when I get you that purse. You know?
Exactly.
So, yeah.
No, I think that that's a good thing to say when you're dealing in a relationship. It's easier when you have somebody, two people that are mature enough to understand the industry and what's going on, and that you're gonna have to work late, always gonna have to be on your phone. At least, you know, especially when you're only in year 3. So, yeah, it's not gonna get any better.
It's barely year 3. I'm like already super slammed.
Yeah, it's like it. That's what I tell people. You just have to have that partner, and that's just with age and everything. It just happens that it's like. Now I'm like, I'm old news.
Oh my God, but it's so tough. It really is.
Because what does she do?
Okay, so she's a student. She just got her bachelor's. I was trying to get her to be a loan officer. I was like, hey, you know, be a loan officer. A couple of buddies of mine, their significant other are loan officers as well.
Yeah, like Fernando.
Like Fernando, Joe,
yeah,
and Jessica. Like they're
and
a
they
team.
understand each other too.
It's working so well, of course, because they're in the same industry.
Yeah.
Like Fernando, his girl did not understand, but now she's in the industry, so she's like, oh shit. Like,
yeah.
You are super busy, because I'm super busy.
Yeah.
And so I was trying to get her in the industry, and of course she's a student, so she killed it. She was like already done with her classes. All she had to do was take her test.
Yeah.
And she was like, no, I really want to get my master's in psychology. I really want to be a child psychologist.
Yeah.
And I was like, why? Like, why? Like, because I deal with clients all the time, and I'm like, what is this? Like, when we do the loan application, I'm like, what's this $80,000, like, you know, debt?
Yeah.
Oh, it's student
loans. Yeah.
Oh, what's this $300,000 student loan debt? Oh, it's student loans. And I'm like,
yeah, doctors and all them.
that's a house.
Yeah.
That's a nice house. I was like, Drake?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
what? $300,000 in student loan debt. I had a client. She's an optometrist. She told me that.
Yeah,
I
for
was
sure.
like, Jesus Christ, 300,000? I was like, you're gonna have to work 3 years
Before. Yeah.
if you were just to live like frugal.
Yeah.
Before you get out of that debt.
And you're a doctor.
And you're, yeah, exactly. You're a professional. Like but yeah, like so sure enough, I was like, why do you want to do that? You're going to get yourself in debt.
Yeah.
I don't even think they pay a good amount in psychology.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, you have your own practice, you have your own office building. But she's adamant about it. And I'm just like, okay, well, follow your dreams, whatever, you know. I was like, cool. I was like, I want to build an empire with you, but I want to be a power couple, but
You're like,
you want to do this goofy shit. Okay, that's cool.
Well, you know what though? The thing is, when you're younger, you have to do all those things to realize, what you really want. And for me, it was that I liked doing all those things. I did. Yeah. But then when it came to money, you know, I ain't a cheap girl.
Yeah, you're rational. You were logical. You were like, how am I going to pay for this?
I was like, I like nice things. So I was like, I need to do something that's going to pay for those nice things.
Right.
But, you know, because I have a ton of hobbies that I like to do. But if it wasn't, you know, I got to look at the bank account and make sure that I have that money to do that. And I think that's where you get to a certain age to where there's this Spanish saying, and I'm totally going to mess it up, but it's like plastic purses are cute when you're in your 20s, but not in your 30s. And it's true because you want, as you get older, you want nicer things and you want to travel and you want to do all those things.
Your standards get, you know, you elevate those standards. So yeah.
Because Justin's like, you never had to do all this stuff when I first met you. And I was like, yeah, like it's called.
Yeah, I leveled up, bro.
Yeah, like
step
blow up, honey.
Why are you acting brand new, you know? Like, come on now. Get with the program.
He's like, I knew you were high maintenance from the first minute I met you. And I was like, yeah. I'm like, you wouldn't want a hobgoblin as a wife, please.
Oh my God, I know. Ugh, those high maintenance ones.
So yeah,
those
but
demons.
you guys like it too. So
I know we do.
Like, come on.
It's like a love-hate thing.
Yeah, for sure.
But but it's better when like you have yours making.
I mean, do you want me to wear Tevas and no makeup and no hair? Like, no.
Just hair in a bun like this.
Yeah, like no, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, no, I get you. Oh my God.
So just so you know, just
So
start saving now.
Yeah, I'm in for I'm in for the long haul.
You think whatever you think, just triple that amount as how much it will be, and that's how much.
And then I can only imagine kids.
Yeah, it's fun.
And then I hear girls are like super expensive.
They are. I haven't gotten to that point yet with Nicole because she's only one, but it
Right.
does happen.
Yeah, my friends who have girls are like, oh, why do I have girls? Like, they're so expensive.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow.
How many kids are you wanting?
I want like 4.
Jesus Christ, you're
Yeah,
crazy.
I want like the whole like daycare center going on in my house.
Just enjoy the
I'm,
calm.
but I'm gonna enjoy it for now.
Enjoy your calm.
Like I'm cool with having like my older brother. He had like his first when he was like well into his 40s.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm so down. And then I had a buddy of mine who had his like when he was like so young. He's like, no, I still want to be able to play with my kids. I was like, dude, if you're gonna be like frail when you're 40, like
No.
what? No, like I'm not gonna be frail when I'm 40
Well,
or 50.
And the thing is too, like you want to give them a certain lifestyle, like because that's what me and Mario were talking about. You want to give them the things that
you didn't have.
And you want to be, you don't want to blink an eye on certain things. Like, okay, when Lucas had to go to school, okay, like sign him up. I don't want to worry about all that stuff.
Right.
It's like, okay, when we want to travel or we want to do that stuff, I want to do it as a family, but I don't want to have to worry about,
Yeah.
If I would have had it in my 20s, it would have been completely
It would have been a different story.
Yeah. So I do think the later you wait, you're fine.
I think so too. I think what's the rush? And like, I'm like, hey man, I still plan on like well into my 50s, like, being active. I'm not going to be like this old frail man when, in their 50s. Like, and I think everyone has that common misconception. Like,
That's true. And
like you're 50, you're so old. I've seen some 50-year-olds that I'm like, you're 50? You look like you're 35.
Yeah. So when it comes to real estate, for the younger people that want to start, what's the biggest market? Like right now, what's the price point for the seller's market that is hitting like really good?
So I always say this. It just depends because I've seen homes I lost a home that was like 320. And there's not that many people that can afford a $320,000 house. And I always tell my clients, I'm like, the higher you go, the less competition that you have to deal with because not that many people can afford a house like that. Sure enough, I lost 2. I lost one at 375.
Which doesn't happen in El Paso.
Doesn't. Like, oh, you have 300, you know what I mean? These are big houses. These are really high-end houses.
Yeah.
And I lost another one, same client for 325. I lost it. And it just depends if they're priced right. But typically what I see that doesn't last long is anything that's like, I would want to say 160, 170 or less.
Yeah.
It's gone.
It's got a contract.
It's got a contract. There's about to be 10 offers on it. Especially the lower the price, the more contracts. I remember one time I was checking out a house that was like 125, beautiful house.
Yeah.
And there was like a line of realtors that were like, it was like 5 realtors with their clients.
Yeah.
And I was just like, are you serious? Like, I was
What
like,
the hell?
why are we seeing this house?
Yeah.
We're not gonna get it. I was like, they're gonna accept an all cash offer.
Yeah.
Like still over asking price. Like,
how does it work though? Like, let's say it appraised at, let's say they offer 130, and then because I don't know that, it appraises at 120, and they offer 130 all cash. How does that work? They have to pay.
No. So when you're cash is king. So you don't. Whenever you're buying a house cash, you're the market.
So
like you're setting up the standard.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to order an appraisal when you're buying a house cash. You're like, I want to buy this house cash. So guess what? Like the realtor will then update it in the MLS and say, this house sold cash, like for this amount, and you basically set up the market. Like I was selling a house on the west side, and this guy was struggling so hard to sell it, but he just had a bad agent. Like he really did. I literally sold it like in a day for what he wanted. He ended up breaking even because that's all he wanted to do. He did not want to lose money. So sure enough, I guess the buyer, she didn't know that well. She was like, well, when do we order the appraisal? I was like, you're buying a house cash. Like, why would you order an appraisal?
Yeah.
Like, you're setting up the market.
Yeah.
Like, just buy the house.
You're
and
good.
then people will go based on your comp, go based on that sale. So don't even worry, like, 2 weeks? Like, no, like, just buy the house cash. You're setting up the market.
Yeah.
So she was like, oh, yeah, well, I knew that. And I was like, no, you didn't. But, okay, cool. I was like, that's cool. Like,
You're like, okay.
and I was like, yeah, for sure you did. And then, yeah. So, she set up the house, or she bought the house, and then, or her client bought the house, and then that's how it works with like cash. Like you make the market. Like you're basically following the trend.
Okay.
So with that house, I was 125. I was like, hey, somebody's gonna buy this house cash, and like
130.
yeah. And then everything else in the area
Goes up.
it appreciates because
Yeah.
they're like, okay, we can use this house as a comp. If this house sold like 115 a foot, we can sell our house 115 a foot.
Yeah.
As long as it's like around the same value or the
Yeah.
same amenities that it's offering.
Well, what if you get it financed? How does that work?
Okay, then you have to go with the bank. But when you go with the bank is going to look at that comp. But they're going to be like, wait a minute, like a month ago, somebody wanted to buy this house like cash.
Yeah.
So like, it's good. The value's there. They're going to use that comp. That's why the people who are cash, they're making the market.
Yeah.
So like when the bank orders their appraisals, the appraiser will go out there and be like, oh, okay, somebody bought this house a month ago for cash. Then yeah, the value's there.
I gotcha.
Yeah. So it's a little tricky, but like, yeah.
That's why I'm not a realtor.
Yeah, exactly. That's why you're in.
I'm like,
But
I do insurance.
But oh my God, but that in itself is like, like to me, like whenever someone talks to me about like insurance
yeah.
or like title, I'm just like, what that? Like,
You're like, what's that?
what is that? Like,
You know what? I'll tell you my biggest pet peeve. I'll tell you, because I'm honest. Let's get to the nitty gritty.
okay.
I'm like, because you threw some truth bombs. My biggest frustration with realtors
Okay.
was
Let's hear it.
insurance. Let's do it. We do not insure homes based on appraisal value. So I get a realtor that comes back to us and they're like, well, we bought that. The appraisal's 120. Why do you guys have it insured for 140? I'm like, listen, Linda, we have to insure homes based on if it burns down, we have to rebuild it. So guess what? It costs money to execute everything
To
from
demo.
the house. Yeah. And then to put it back up to code. So what if the house is brick? Oh, there's no masonry. There's no people that lay brick out here.
Yeah.
But we'll fly somebody just to do the brick. And so we have to insure it based on how much it's going to take to rebuild it. So I always have to stress to people, we don't do appraisals, we do reconstruction. And if you do get an insurance agent that does it based on appraisal, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Oh, like who? At them.
At
just
them?
kidding.
I was like, I can at them. I can do it. You want me to be?
I'm just kidding.
I'm like, I can be a little bit of a beast too.
You can stir the pot.
Oh, yeah,
I'm stirring the
I'm
pot
like-
over here. No, but
Freaking John, you're like,
I'm like, who? Who is it? Who?
well, and I think the thing is too, that's why we did from farmers, we did the brokerage, because a lot of times when you're dealing with one company, that's just not, that's like you
You're
just
limited.
sell it. Yeah, that's like you just selling one builder.
Right.
You have to have different options for the client. And that's why we had left farmers, because there's only so much you can do when you have an Allstate, a Farmers, or a State Farm agency without getting rid of coverages. And we never did that, and I will never do that. And so that's why, I tell a lot of people, I'm like, you need to look at what the coverages are. You need to be more aware, because home's their biggest asset, and they don't look at the insurance that well.
Oh.
So that's what I
Yeah.
tell people. We don't do appraisal value. We do reconstruction costs. So if I get somebody that says, why are you insuring it? Because we got to rebuild it.
So, but why would they complain that you're insuring it for a higher amount? Why?
Because-
Because the premium goes up?
Well, it
Is that
doesn't
what-
even go up. Like, okay, here's the other thing. Like, let's say you have a client that has bad credit. Everything is ran on credit. So like let's say you have somebody with good credit that buys a new home. We don't even have to know the amount of the home. That buys a new home, you're looking at, let's say, $500 to $800, depending on what the size of the home is.
Right.
Bad credit, it goes from $800 to $1,200, but that's not us. It's just the insurance takes a look at the credit and where they're at.
Credit.
And comes with the pricing. So we have all the options. So they think by cutting down the coverage by $20,000, it's going to reduce the price like hundreds of dollars.
Right.
And it doesn't.
No, not even. No.
It does it like $5. So that's why, like I said, that's my biggest frustration is I'm always like, and then they go to Joe Schmo.
Got those window tinting and
Yeah,
insurance.
and they'll do it, and then so I'm like, do you want me to say it? I'll say it. Jonathan, you're gonna get me in trouble.
No, that's not saying it.
But you get like a Joe Schmo that are order takers that'll do what, like let's say a lender's like, hey, but I need it like at $16, $25 a month, $30 a month. And the problem with that is that you're liable for everything that happens in that house. So, and on any home insurance contract, if you don't have a certain amount of coverage, then not only will the insurance company, like let's say it's called the 80-20. So if your house is valued at $100,000,
right,
and you insure it for under 80,000, well then the insurance company has their own ratio that they're going to say, okay, well if you only insured it for 50% of the coverage, you had, let's say, a fire, we're not only going to not give you that 80, like that 75,000, we're going to give you half of that because in our contract you have to carry a certain percentage.
Right.
So that's the thing that people don't realize. They think insurance isn't a binding contract, and it's a legal contract that you have to know.
Okay.
So that's my spiel.
Okay.
Like, I'm not some ghetto ass agent that's gonna write like BS stuff.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm like, but that's my only spiel is that I'm always having to tell people, if we don't do appraisals, that's your realtor, that's your lender, that's what you guys do. That's how they go off their stuff.
And you know what? It's funny. I had a seller one time. They were like, no, well, the insurance valued it at, and of course, a higher amount. And I was like, that's in case if it burns down and they have to do like a full replacement.
Yeah.
I was like, that doesn't mean, like, I'm the real estate agent. Like, I'm the one that like will tell you what the value of your home is, like what it would sell right now on the market. And I literally went at it with this client, and I am not afraid. I'm not one of those desperate realtors that is like, oh, I have to like brown nose the whole time. Like I've gone at it with clients.
Yeah.
And with this client, I was like, you don't respect me. You think just because I'm in my 20s, like I don't have anything like of value to you, but I sold your house twice.
Yeah.
The other agent who was like in their 50s didn't even sell it. Didn't even get you like an offer. I got you 2 offers in 2 weeks. I'm letting her have it. Yeah. And she's like, well, why would you expect me to sell it for this amount if like the insurance company said that it's valued at this amount? And I was like,
that's when you get the twitch. Like,
I'm just like, are you serious? I was like, I'm over here like, yeah. So yeah, it's. I had to go at it with her. I had to like basically baby step her
the whole way.
So like, hey, this is why the value of your home is.
You're like, it's apples and oranges.
And then I would tell her like, hey, this is what your home is going to appraise at. I know we sold it for 160, but it's worth 145. Yeah. I'm just telling you. Yeah. And then she's like, no, it's worth 160. It's actually worth higher. And sure enough, the appraisal came back, and I was like, what did I tell you? I was like, what did I tell you? And she was just like, doesn't know how to do their job. I was like, oh my God, now you're an appraiser. Yeah. Now you're like a professional.
But I think that's the thing. It's like, I think people try to get mixed into everything, and it's like, just stick to your thing. Like, I don't try to be a realtor. I don't try to be a lender. I don't know anything about.
Same. Perfect. Exactly what you said.
You stick to your industry, and that's what, don't try to go involve and get to know everything, because you're not going to.
Yeah, a jack of all trades is a master of none. Yeah. That's what I always say.
Exactly.
Like, you're not an insurance agent. Like, I always tell my lenders, I always tell my clients, I'm like, hey, you have a lender question? I am not a licensed loan officer. Let me have Joe call you. Yeah. Let me have this lender call you. Yeah. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You have an insurance question, like, let me have Victoria call you. Yeah. And let me have her tell you what's going on. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Oh, I agree. I totally agree with that. And so that's like my spiel. Like, you like to just stir the pot. So I was like, I'll give you a little tea.
I was like, who?
He started his own brokerage, but he does like all these ghetto policies, And so I tell people, I'm like, we are the cheapest. We have over 80 options. There's no one that's going to be cheaper that gives everyone the correct coverages. So
Right.
that's what I tell people. I'm like, if you're getting cheaper, there's a reason why. They're like, it's like the crappiest coverage available.
Like when you get into some trouble, you're like, hey,
Exactly. And it's your home.
like, are you going to cover me? And it's like,
Yeah.
well, we found a loophole that doesn't cover you.
And I know, like, sometimes, like, DTIs and everything like that, we try to, like, do the best we can with that. But it's just, like, I think in El Paso, we're just so spoiled with home insurance prices and pricing that I'm like, we had one guy that, like, he had one client that was in Dallas, and it's like a $9,000 premium. Okay, paid up front, write you a check. And so that kind of stuff, it's like,
Are you serious?
yeah. And you have to have flood insurance, too.
How? What?
Yeah.
Was that including flood insurance?
No.
I'm sure. Oh my God. Are you kidding me?
No. So I'm like, we're spoiled out here. You're complaining about $500 a year.
I know. People are complaining about like 6, 7. That's how much typically, like around 1,000. Around more or less. 9,000.
So that's when I get the,
Are you serious?
I'm
It's too
like-
much for you?
I'm like, then don't get a house.
Same thing with like clients that are like, no, we're trying to find something like at $700 a month. I was like, you want some dirt? I got some dirt.
And even then, you might not be able to get it.
I was like, but you gotta put 40% down. Oh, I thought I could put like 3% down. I'm like,
Or I thought I could get down payment assistance.
oh
You
my
know, we were
God.
thinking the same
I
thing.
hate DPA. I hate it so much. Just for the record, DPA is a bait and switch. There's no such thing as like, well,
There's no,
down
such,
payment.
there's no such thing as a free
As
lunch.
a free lunch. Like, guys, they're charging you more on your interest rate. Like, they are. Like, it's like, this is what I hate when I see well-off people asking for DPA. I had this person who was like, yeah, like, we're good. Like, we want to move to El Paso. It's cheap over there. Do they have down payment assistance? And I'm like, well, yeah. Are you making, like, less than $75,000 a year with you and your wife? Oh no, we make well over that. I was like, why are you asking for DPA then?
Like, no.
I was like, dude, you're not destitute. You're not like, what is your, get out of here.
You're like, just get your 20% and then get back to me.
Get out of here.
Life happens. They have a claim, and then the shit hits the fan, and then they're like, oh.
You don't have coverage.
Yeah. You pretty much just paid $300 for a piece of paper, and that's it.
That's
So I
rough.
I see it all the time. So I'm like, I don't even want to deal with those type of people.
No. And you don't have to.
No. And so that's
You're
why
like,
I'm like,
this is good enough for me to like, hey, go ahead, Dorian.
that's why I market the other areas like
Yeah.
Dallas and Houston and all that stuff. So,
Yeah, because it's crazy. Because whenever you deal with like the low ends, they're the biggest headache.
they are.
Because they want all the hookups.
Mm-hmm.
And then whenever you deal with people who are, better off socioeconomically, they're like,
Well, because
oh,
they understand. They're like, well, I don't want somebody that I need to tell them what I'm going to do. It's their job. They got to say, hey, you know what? You have assets. You have this, or you need these type of coverages. And I feel like a lot of times, I'm not a salesperson. I'm like, I'm worth our commission. I'm worth our everything. So I'm going to tell you what you need. If you don't like it, then sorry.
right.
I'm
That makes
worth it.
sense.
I'm like,
True.
oh, I'm gonna.
Exactly.
You never have to worry if you go to bed that you're not covered.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, if you want to work with so and so, like, cool. I'm not losing out on anything. Like, I'm not desperate.
No, you're not. Okay. So if whoever wants to give you a call, where do they get a hold of you, or how do they get a hold of you?
Well, of course, like you can go on social media. My Instagram is jonathanlimon.realtor no, that's all it is. jonathanlimon.realtor for Instagram, and then Facebook, just type in my name,
Okay.
Jonathan Limon. Yeah.
Just get a hold of you, and you can hook them up with some.
Yeah, I'm a straight shooter.
Yeah.
Like, I hate, like, I see some realtors that are like, hey guys, buying a house is easy. And I'm like, no, it's not. Like, no, it's not. Like there's so many realtors who don't have a house.
Yeah.
I was like, you're telling me it's like if I sell Verizon
Yeah.
and I have like a Sprint plan.
Exactly.
I was like, why? I don't even believe in my own product. Why would I sell it? And buying a house is hard. It is super hard. If it wasn't hard, then there would be no apartments. There would be no rentals. But it's a hard thing to do.
Yeah.
So I cannot stand when I see like people on like social media that are like, oh, it's easy. All you gotta do is this, and that. I'm like, no, that's to apply, but that doesn't guarantee them a house.
Yeah.
So I don't.
Just have you set realistic expectations.
I always do, and I've also known this. Like you have to tell your clients the bad news.
Yeah.
Every single time, and they love you for it.
Yeah.
Even if it's bad news, like, hey, I'm gonna let you know.
Can't run.
Like this is what you have to anticipate, and they're like, okay, well, you know, and I have no issues. And then of course I see some other people who are like trying to paint like a pretty picture the whole time, and I'm like, dude, that's why they're canceling on you, because like you're setting up these false expectations. Just tell them the truth.
And they have one issue, and then they're like,
and then they're good. They're like, okay, well, I expected this, so that I planned for it.
Yeah.
So I see that all the time. Like, just be honest.
Yeah.
You know, I'm super straight shooter. Like I said, I've even gone at it with clients. I've gone at it with realtors too.
Yeah.
Like, my God, you'll see some of the screenshots I have. Like, yeah, it's a little like, wait.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much for being on the podcast.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. It's
My
been
gosh,
fun.
I'm like flattered. I'm like, me? Like, why? Why me?
I always get the most interesting guests.
Oh my God, I know you do. Just from us talking before, I'm like, that's what happened?
Yeah.
Here?
I always like I said, it's always fun. Well, thank you so much for being on the show.